following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. It is 4:02 p.m., time for the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. I am Loyd Kirby, the marketing manager here at WLCN, and as we do each Tuesday at this time, we bring in someone, a newsmaker or someone with something going on that we want to learn more about, and today is no exception as we have Rachael Judd here. She is actually the founder, correct?
Yes.
Of the David W. Schroeder Memorial Community Garden in Lincoln. Is that
yes.
the correct full name?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
and
we'll
so she's here to talk to us about the community garden in general, also about an event they have coming up this Saturday that you'll want to learn more about. If you're interested, if you have questions, comments, 217-648-5510, the number to call, or you can email your questions in if you don't care to talk on the radio. That email address is 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. So, Rachael, thank you for your second trip here, I guess.
Yeah.
To the 4pm411. So, since we mentioned the event, why don't we start out telling folks what you've got going on this weekend so they can get it on their calendar, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the garden in general.
Absolutely. So happy Earth Day. Thank you for having me on Earth Day. That's really exciting. But our event is actually the opening day of the garden, which will celebrate Earth Day. And so we have a lot of things to do when the garden opens every season. We go from about April to about October. And when we kick off, there's a lot. So on this Saturday morning, morning, 9 to 11. Get on your garden clothes. Come on out. If you don't have garden clothes, just put on regular clothes. We'll take you any way we can get you. But our big project is a greenhouse was donated. So with this greenhouse, that means we need to put it together. We need to put it up. We need to stake it down. That's going to take some hands. So if you are not into the greenhouse thing, that's fine. We have beds that need to be worked on, starters that need to be planted. We have weeds that need to be pulled. And if you're a little kid, we have a paint project for you to work on for us. So we have a little bit of something for everybody.
When you say beds to work on, I'm assuming that's flower beds.
Yes, those are plant beds, flower beds. Yep, we have vegetables and flowers. So.
Okay. All right, very good. And where is the garden located again?
So the garden is at 114 South Sangamon. So that corner of Sangamon and Broadway where the United Methodist Church is, we are kitty corner from that.
Oh, okay. Very good. So, and how long has the garden been in existence?
This is year 4. So garden year 4. So 2022 we kicked off and here we are and getting all the things in.
And as the founder, can you kind of take us through how the garden came into being and where the David W. Schroeder name came from?
Absolutely. So as we know, in 2020 and 2021, we all got a little bit stuck in our houses, and we decided, a group of friends said, hey, what if we did something where we could all just get back outside again? And so Bethany, who has moved away, unfortunately, but Bethany Busher was like, I could do that after having some experience at Prairie Earth Farm. And I got together with her and with the help of our community and with the encourage of Jennifer Champion said, hey, we could actually do this. And so Jennifer and her family lovingly contributed on behalf of their dad to help purchase that property and get us up and running that first year. And so we want to honor what they've done and honor her dad, who was a professor at Lincoln College, by naming that particular garden after him.
Yeah, and professor in the biological sciences.
Yes.
But I mean, he taught everything science. I took physics as well as I think chemistry from him when I was
absolutely
there. So yeah, he
even wrote textbooks about it. So
yeah,
he's
so
the guy.
Definitely a guy who knew his science. That's for sure. Had a love of nature and flowers and animals and all things outdoors.
Yes. And if you come visit the garden, we have a little hide and seek we play with our school groups that come and visit. But there is a ceramic frog that came from his particular garden that hides in our garden as well.
Oh, okay.
So you can come look for it.
Okay. So once again, that event is this Saturday, 9 to 11. And what will, you mentioned putting up the greenhouse and having that on site. What will that allow you to do, or how does that benefit the garden in ways and things you can't do currently?
Absolutely. So currently when we do any garden starts, people just take that on themselves and they start that at their house, in their basement, in their own little porches. This is going to allow us every year to have a place and come together a little earlier as a community every year and do that. During the spring, summer season, we're hoping to do some vertical gardening. So we're going to try some squash. We may do some additional strawberries, which have been a big hit with our gardeners who like to take those with them. And so it's just going to give us some opportunity to start a little earlier, potentially go a little longer, and then try some different gardening techniques that people would like to try.
Okay, very cool. And you mentioned that wear your gardening clothes, but if you don't have gardening clothes, whatever. So I'm sure along with that same line, if one is an experienced gardener or if one is just, hey, I'm kind of interested what's gardening about, but they don't have any real experience, you'll accept folks from both ends of the spectrum and anywhere in between.
Anybody. So when we started, Bethany had worked at Prairie Earth Farm. She knew all the things, and I was like, I don't know, I have a few flowers in my front yard. And so we have come from all parts of the spectrum, but that's the community part of community gardening. We have people there that are master gardeners, and we have kids there that just want to put their hands in the dirt. And so wherever you are welcome to come and join us. There's a little bit of something for everybody.
Okay. And let's see, as far as the community garden, like how does it work? Yeah, how does it work?
This is the question I get all of the time. So this is what we call a cooperative community garden. Okay. We know that everybody has a limited amount of time, and we all have different reasons for gardening. So some people actually need or want the vegetables. Some people just like to see things grow. Some people just want to give back to the community. Some people have actual real skills that they want to come teach. And so this is a co-op. What happens is you come, we have a little sign-in sheet. You sign in with your contact information. And as long as you have served an hour in that particular month, that something grows, you will be notified. Your contribution has grown. Come get what you need.
Wow, very cool. And so there's no kind of what do I want to say?
There aren't any personal beds, and there's no financial contribution required. Okay. So your contribution is your sweat equity.
And is there any kind of, what am I trying to say, like geographic? Do you have to be a resident of Lincoln, or do you have
You do not. So we've had some people from kind of in the area say, hey, I don't really have a place to garden, but I live in Atlanta. I don't really have a place to garden, but I'm closer to McLean. Come on over. This is a community project, and when we say community, we're really looking at Logan County as a whole.
Very cool. And so I don't know the exact quantity, but all the things that are grown then, if you have folks who, they, as you mentioned, they work for a certain amount and they can take a certain amount of the yield, I guess. Is there anything left over? And if so, what happens to that, those vegetables and other things that are grown?
Yeah, so there are some vegetables that grow prolifically in our particular region. So we have lots of zucchini, cucumbers, and tomatoes usually. And sometimes peppers. Sometimes those are really popular. It just depends on the year and how much we get. But if there are leftovers, a couple things. One, we donate to the food pantry. So if they will take fresh vegetables and their kind of guidelines allow that, we will donate. We also donate to the Lincoln Women's Club pantry. So they have a little outdoor pantry outside, and we donate to that. And actually, really exciting, for the first time, we're going to have our own little outdoor pantry. So we had somebody, it was on our wish list, say that they would be willing to build us one. And so probably here in the next month or two, we will have our own as well.
Oh, very cool. And then will that be located on the same site as the garden?
Yep. So when you walk by, if there's something there, you're welcome to take.
Oh, very cool. So once again, our guest is Rachael Judd. She is the founder, and do you have a title now? Director, organizer?
Yes. So right now I'm the organizer for our organization.
Okay. Sounds like a good title for an organization. But she is with the David W. Schroeder Memorial Community Garden, which will be having an event this Saturday, as we just mentioned. We'll go ahead and take our first break of the half hour now. But once again, if you have questions or comments, or just want to learn more, 217-648-5510, the number to call, or you can email your questions, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com, and we'll be back in 2 minutes with Rachael Judd and more about the community garden.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here with Rachael Judd with the David W. Schroeder Memorial Community Garden in Lincoln, talking about the garden in general, as well as an event coming up this Saturday. We were talking during the break about the format or the model of the garden that you've chosen. Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about that, as far as why you do things the way you do them, and what the advantages are?
Absolutely. So when we started, we visited a lot of community gardens and said, like, how are you making this work for you? And it used to be that the plot model worked. Everybody got a plot, they might have paid for it, and then they worked it themselves. And what happens is about mid-July, all the plots are dying because out of sight, out of mind, and people go on vacation and it gets hot or it didn't work. So this way, this actually creates a community garden that keeps growing, because I might be available in July and you might be available in August and somebody else might be available in June. And so when we put in the time that we have, it just keeps growing, and then it benefits everybody.
And so with that, as far as the the schedule and how things progress through the summer, you were telling me that you're going to be a little bit more than a garden this year, that you're going to actually hold some events there. Can you tell us a little bit about what's on the schedule for that?
So we're really excited to say, okay, now that the garden is up and growing and running, we have a solid base of volunteers. It would be fun to make this more than just a garden. And so some of the suggestions that have been thrown out there by other people have been, wouldn't it be fun to have a community picnic where we all just bring our picnic blankets and picnic in the garden? We also have 2 picnic tables if blankets aren't your thing. So that's a possibility. We have the library and the new bookstore, and we've had some people say, I'd love to just come read in the garden. Great, let's have a reading day in the garden. Come bring your favorite book and, come enjoy the sunshine, enjoy what the garden has to offer without maybe the sweat once in a while.
Sure. Okay. And now the organization, you mentioned that you're the organizer of the organization. So how is that organization structured currently?
Sure. So before, there were just a couple of us pitching in to make it work. This winter, when it's cold and we can't garden as well, we put in the time, effort, and a little bit of finances to become a not-for-profit organization. So this is going to allow us to do a couple things. One, we now have a board. I am not the sole person, so shout out to Alexa and Molly and Jennifer, who have also pitched into that, and so excited to have a solid group in the background, double checking everything coming in and out. But it'll also allow us to accept donations and apply for grants in a new way, and that's really exciting because every year there's a new expense for the garden. So
sure. So what kind of expenses, other than the obvious ones, what are there certain expenses that may be going into it you didn't anticipate that were kind of like, oh wow, I didn't realize we'd need this and it costs this much?
Absolutely. So for the last 3 years, we've had a volunteer who's been mowing our garden. So we had no edgers, mowers, anything like that. And this year, their schedule's not going to allow them to do that. So we have a volunteer that says, I can mow, but I need a mower provided. Great. So we're able to purchase something like that and have it on the property, stored in our shed that's locked, that kind of thing. So those kinds of things come up. This year, finally, very excitingly, a fence is going to go up around the garden.
Oh, okay.
That is not a small expense to have all the materials, pay somebody to help put it up. We're going to do some of the work probably in doing some staining and some things like that, so there will be volunteers needed for that, but there's always something that comes up. We did actually put electricity on the property. So Amron came out, put up a box, we were able to do that, and that was it's a little bit of work to get all of that done. So there's always something that can be done to make it just a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you mentioned the not-for-profit status. Is that are you officially non-for-profit?
So everything is in, and we will be able to accept donations probably in 2 months. That'll be fully tax deductible.
Okay. And is there anything in particular that you're in need of?
We have a wish list. I'm so glad you asked. We always have a wish list. One of them was our little free pantry. So that's really cool. If anybody would like to come level our ground, we have some areas where dirt has been dumped over the years for us to put in the beds and in the raised beds. But then when when it's left there, it creates nice little piles that become piles of grass. So we're looking for somebody to come level out. If you are somebody that has a tiller, we need some areas tilled. That's not something that we're probably going to purchase and put in the shed. It's going to be too big. It doesn't get used enough, but we have some areas that need tilled. So if that's you, please visit our Facebook page, send me a message. We would really like some stuff tilled. So that right now is where we're at. We're really trying to make that a really usable space right now for people to be in, set up their blankets and their chairs and that kind of thing.
Okay, very cool. And is the, I don't know if this is a sensible question or not, but I'll ask it anyway. Is the garden like open at certain times where like if someone does want to read or have a picnic?
Yes. So currently it is open to the public. We did have one incident where we were like, ooh, do we need to lock everything down? But we would really like it to be a community space. There are 2 tables there. You can come read, enjoy the space. Come. Bring your kids if they like to smell flowers. We have a little tiny tree there. If they want to climb up in it, they can. They won't hurt anything, I promise.
All right, very cool. So once again, we're talking with Rachael Judd, who is with the David W. Schroeder Memorial Community Garden. They will be having an event this Saturday from 9 to 11.
9 to 11.
Correct? So you can come on out and help get things up and running and underway for the garden. We'll invite you to tune in tomorrow morning to Viewpoint with Dara Entwistle. She will have representatives from Midwest Solutions Incorporated. That is a company. They are not the door-to-door sales people companies that folks have been encountering in Lincoln, but they're a company with an office. They're going to be talking about solar energy, debunking some of the myths and talking to us, educating us on that. But as I mentioned, right now we have Rachael Judd for another 10 minutes or so. And if you have questions for her, 217-648-5510, the number to call, or email them, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Back on the 4 p.m. 411 now with Rachael Judd from the David Wary Schroeder, actually, I believe was his middle name, Memorial Community Garden here in Lincoln. They will be having an event this Saturday. We were talking before the break about a variety of things related to the garden. If folks want to get involved, how do they make that known to you?
Yeah, there is a variety of ways. So if you go on our Facebook page, you'll see all of the events that we've scheduled. So we usually have one Saturday morning and one Sunday afternoon per month that you can just come out. We'll be there. We'll have projects going on. That's the easiest way to just walk up. If you have a group, so we work with some nursing homes and some other homes and some, we work with the Boy Scouts. If you have a group, you can just go on. We have a little calendar and our little links on our Facebook page, and you can schedule a day, pick a day. If you just want to come out, do the same thing. There are 1 hour blocks. You can just say, hey, I'm going to be there from 4 to 5. It'll ask you for your contact info, and we'll reach out and say, okay, if you're going to be there, here are a couple things that'd be great to do. So lots of different ways to get involved.
Okay, very cool. And if folks are interested in learning more about the garden, seeing the calendar, the wish list, etc., you're mentioning the Facebook page quite a bit. Is that the best way to learn more?
There are 2 main ways to get a hold of us. Check out the Facebook page. That's going to be where the most up-to-date information is. So that's just facebook.com/LCN Community Garden, or you can just email us, lcncommunitygarden@gmail.com. That'll get you anybody, and we'll get back to you.
And you do actually respond, because that's how we set this up. So, it doesn't just go to an inbox and sit there.
Nope.
Something else you mentioned during the break is a newsletter.
Yes. So we have a monthly newsletter. It goes out about the 15th of every month, and it's going to give you, this is what's going on this month, a reminder of the days. If we have groups out, if we have pictures, that kind of stuff, we include that. So I will actually put that link on the Facebook page here in the next couple days, especially as we get closer to the event. But also our newsletters, past newsletters are there, and you can sign up that way as well.
Okay. So it's an electronic newsletter versus like a paper one you get in the mail. And then does that get emailed, or do folks go and find it on your Facebook?
It gets emailed, and we put it on the Facebook page, and you can also share it. So some of you might have gotten invited by somebody else. They said, hey, that's how we're getting our little free pantry, as somebody sent it along and said this might be great.
Yeah. So tell me about the free pantry. How does that work?
Yes. So it's kind of like you see the little wooden free libraries. Mm-hmm. It's very similar in the sense that we're going to put vegetables in there. We'll check it every couple of days so things don't go bad, and you can just come by, open the door, take what you need. Okay.
That's what I was wondering, because you mentioned Ameren had been there. I didn't know if it was like a refrigerated pantry.
That would be really cool. We're not there yet.
Okay. All right. Well, put that on your wish list.
Maybe someday.
So, is there anything other than what you mentioned as far as the tilling and the leveling ground? Are there any supplies, like tangible things that you are in need of?
So there are a couple big items that we're looking for. Pavers. So we would love to pave between the beds. This makes it accessible. So if you ever go to the garden, you'll notice that there's a very specific length between each raised bed. That is so if you have a walker or a wheelchair or a cane, you can easily walk through and be near the beds. Mm-hmm. But right now, that's just on the ground. So if you have a good amount of pavers that you would like to donate, that's one of the big things we're looking for right now.
Okay. And you mentioned you have folks from nursing homes and other groups that come out. So obviously, if they're wheelchair bound, or even with the walker, if there's a little bit of rain before they get there and it's not paved, then
they usually don't come.
That could make for some tricky navigation, I would think. And then as far as what you grow in the garden, where does your seeds and your plants and things come from, and how are those decided?
Absolutely. So generally we grow what people like to eat. Okay. And we've learned year to year what people take the most of. And we also take recommendations. So somebody said, I'd really like us to try potatoes. We're like, we've never done that. Last year we grew potatoes. They grew fabulously. We're going to make a bigger potato bed this year because people liked them. They grew well. They were well tended. Excellent. Nice. And so that's kind of how we decide. And then generally we will try to buy seed. And so we will try to do starters on our own, because we're trying to keep the garden very earth friendly. So that meaning we don't use pesticides and things like that. We try to grow things that are native. We try to buy seeds that are heirloom. Sometimes those are given to us. And so we try to collect things that are going to be healthy for the soil as we continue to be in the area.
Okay, very cool. So, and again, I'm guessing seeds and things like that are not inexpensive in the quantities you get them. So.
Exactly. So especially because we're trying to buy native and heirloom, they're a little bit more pricey. So again, we have a little QR code. It's a donation to our PayPal account, and then those things go toward anything that's donated financially goes towards those projects.
Okay, very cool. And as you mentioned, here shortly you will be a not-for-profit.
Yeah.
So those will be tax-deductible donations. We also mentioned you have the event event coming up on the 26th. If you want to tell folks about that again in case they're tuning in
Absolutely.
late.
So take your Earth Day joy from today, come out on Saturday, and get your hands in the actual earth. We will be putting up the greenhouse. We'll be prepping the beds. We'll be planting starters, cleaning out the flower bed, all kinds of things, some activities for kids 9 to 11, 114 Logan, right there at Logan and Broadway.
Okay. And we got a couple minutes left. So how did you, what motivated you to get involved with this? Like, how did it all come about? How did it start?
Sure. So Bethany and I were friends, and I have always been we hosted the CSA for Lincoln for a while, and we're all about, my husband is a professional chef. We're in it for the food. And so we're I would love to get involved in this, but it's not something that I can take on by myself. Mostly because I also have 5 kids and a full-time job. So I need to be in community with other people doing this for the times that I can't be there. Right. And so Bethany was really great in motivating me and saying we could do it together. And so when I'm not there, you could be there. And when you can't be there, I can be there. And so that was the whole onus for it. It's that idea of there's this thing I want to do, but I need somebody to help me. And so that was really kind of the kicker, and she was great.
Yeah. She was here with you last time you were here. So, but as you mentioned, you've got the board now. So you've got... not the Lone Ranger. You're not the Lone Ranger out there doing everything.
Absolutely.
So kudos to them for their time. It is 4:30. Is there anything we haven't covered that you want to make sure to mention?
I think that's mostly it. I would just encourage people, try it out. Whether you're in it for the veggies, in it for the community, in it because you have garden knowledge, in it because you just want to be outside. Whatever reason brings you there, we're glad you're there.
Okay, very cool. Once again, our guest has been Rachael Judd, the founder and organizer for the David W. Schroeder Memorial Community Garden. They will be having Raise the Greenhouse Roof event this Saturday, along with some other projects, and you can learn more on the LCN Garden. Is that the Facebook page facebook.com/LCN Garden. So thank you for being with us, Miss Rachael. And we will be back again next Tuesday. Once again, don't forget tomorrow, Dara Entwistle will have folks from the Midwest Solutions Incorporated talking about some of the solar energy, doing some education and debunking some myths for us. But for right now, I am Loyd Kirby on behalf of Rachael Judd. Thanks for listening to the 4 p.m. 411. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.